Welcome to BARZ Unlocked, Behind the Bars. We got my man Meer, Mr. the historian, the Mr. Motivation. How you doing, boss?
I'm chilling, man. Glad to be back. Let's get it.
All right, so I'm gonna jump right into it, right? You have, I seen you pulled up to the Chubby Chicks restaurant.
Yeah.
What was that about?
That was what I want to say, more so like some things going on, I guess, with the tenants or something like that, who didn't want her down there or whatever like that. It was a bunch of different mixed stories, but making a long story short, I seen her on the news, some other people sent it to me, and then I just shot down there. And it was kind of like, it was more so bigger than her. I ain't really do it for her. I did it for, like, in case, other young African Americans that's coming behind her, that might want to be down Center City. Like, we gonna step behind any of our people. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it was, really bigger than her. It was like for the generation after her. Like, this how y'all should stick together if something is wrong.
Okay. Now, did she elaborate on anything, like the situations, like what they was doing to try to get to try to get her out of there?
No.
Because I was looking on the news, and what she was saying was like they was leaving something on the leaving like rodents.
Well, we didn't even we seen them stories, but we didn't even, like I said, like when we seen it all over the news, and then I talked to a couple of my partners and my comrades about it, it was more so like, let's just go down there to support. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let's just go down there on the front line and just support to show that she got some type of help. Because that's what it was really about. And I think it's just like, not just for her, but for anybody that's dealing with anything. They don't necessarily have to be a black and white thing or male versus female. I just feel like with any of our people that's going through anything, I feel like that's how we need to step about them. You feel what I'm saying? If they going through something in business, I feel like, that's just how we need to start stepping about each other more and more. If somebody's business fell, and I think we got the buying power to be like, you know what, let's all step for this person that's shown. I don't care what it is. If you selling hats, if you selling socks, and you put it out there and say, hey man, I ain't making no money, I feel like, all right, well, somebody posted, let's all run down there and buy socks today. Let's all run down there and buy hats today. Let's keep them afloat. You feel what I'm saying?
For sure. Because I seen some other things too, where this lady, I think she was selling clothing, and she was about to go out of business. But I think she was somewhere in the county, and a lot of people pulled up, and that bring a sense of unity as we need.
True.
And you touched on that by y'all going down there, and them seeing that presence prior, which they think, oh, I'm gonna do this to that, and to get her right out of there. I just drove past the other day. Her place was packed.
Yeah, it been packed. Yeah.
Now I see you posted NH and Magic, right? And you trying to get that collab going. Speak on that.
The ball rolling. They putting their verses together, man. Like a couple people tapped in. Quilly tapped in. All of them from the era tapped in. That's what it was about. When I instantly heard the song, I got that feeling. So it was like, once I got that feeling, I knew I had to make another video based on it. And I'm like, you know what? I text I'm like, yo, y'all might as well extend this joint. Y'all might as well extend this and put everybody on that era. The reason why something like that is important, because even though them dudes was battling each other and all that back in the day, nobody never killed each other. It never went farther than rap. Right. You understand? And a lot of these dudes are still peers to this day. So if the city could see that, you understand what I'm saying? If they can get this song out and the city could see that, that's so many, because these dudes was from all over the city. This ain't like no one section. This is all over the city. If these dudes could come together, put their old egos to the side, swallow their pride, and say, yo, let's do something for the city. It'll be huge. And that'll show each individual, that'll show their young boys at their neighborhood, like, oh, you know what, damn, we can do songs with other people. We can get with other people and make. So that's what that was. And it just took a ripple effect of its own. So everybody started tapping in. I think majority of the people, they verses already done, but because of Ramadan, like they holding it off. You feel what I'm saying? But I think majority of them, like they verses is done. They ready. They ready. It's happening.
This is happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's already
yeah, it's
okay.
happening.
All right.
It's happening.
And can you speak on that a little bit more in depth for the people that don't know, and you actually touched on they from different parts of the city.
Yeah.
And now with the youth, they got, they terminology, they got gangs now.
Yeah.
And they going, West Philly might be going at it with North Philly or somebody like that. You actually speaking on how they was back in them times, and just elaborate on that for the youth, like the difference.
Well, for one, because a lot of the times people think like if people, a lot of, especially when it comes down to the streets, if people know their history, right? We always had gangs in Philadelphia. We always had street corners. We always had hoods that represented certain hoods or whatever the case may be. But it's not like to the extent that it is right now, because a lot of the times them geographical blinders back then was down. Certain people from South Philly hung in North Philly. People from North Philly hung in South Philly. West Philly hung in Germantown. It was always thorough people everywhere that dealt with other people. If I brung you to my neighborhood in South Philly and you was my man, if I was respected, I could leave you there.
Right.
You feel me? And wouldn't nobody mess with you on the strength of me. You understand what I'm saying? Same way, if you bring me to your neighborhood and people respect you, it's the same thing. Once you introduce me, that's it. That's my man. That's how it was with them rappers. In that era, the DVD era, them dudes ended up becoming peers later on. So they was bringing people around each other. They was taking them to each other neighborhoods, and people was physically seeing them. You might go somewhere and so the first youngin from my neighborhood, which was Frank with the Grippers, that's my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
He was hanging out Southwest with Reed Dollars. Southwest adopted Frank. They seen Frank out Southwest, even though he from 31st Street. They seen him out Southwest. Then Frank started being in different areas of the city, and they like, all right, well, Frank is up here with us now. So Frank was one of the younger people from my neighborhood. They was able to move around all over the city because he created those friendships with other people.
How important is for the young guys to create something like that, to create some friendships? Because you might need somebody.
It's important. It's important because at the end of the day, I'm gonna just be honest, is this, like, in this day and age, like, friends come and go, man. You understand what I'm saying? I know a lot of the times we want to be so locked in with people that we grew up with, but that's just not a reality no more. As you get older, you have different ideas, you have different things that you want to do. And if you putting yourself in a box and saying that I can only do this with these people because I grew up with them, it's going to limit you. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to limit you because 9 times out of 10, a lot of those people, man, like, you can't pull people out of some of the stuff that they stuck in mentally. As you rising, some people going to stay where they at. And you trying to help them, you got to constantly keep on pulling that weight. You trying to help them and help them. And it's like, yo, you not even seeing what you got over here for you because you keep trying to pull back and help these people. Meanwhile, It's a bull across the city that's on exactly what you on. That's really can help you propel to the next level. But because you saying he ain't from where I'm from, he ain't come up with me, you limit him where how far you could take it. So once them geographical blinders come off, the world open up to you, it's game over. You know what I mean? Game over.
How we do that, in your opinion?
The networking, man. And then not only networking, but try to see people for who they is, not where they from. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. Like, forget where you from. Don't even forget that. Who are you? Forget where you from. You understand what I'm saying? Forget where you from. See what they about first. You feel what I'm saying? That where you from, that's just an environment. That's just a condition of where you from. That don't really make you for real.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Some people, man, you be surprised. Like, if you ever, I mean, you could talk to some homeless people. You could talk to some people down and out. And if they give you their life story, you'll be surprised that some of these people was millionaires. Or some of these people was CEOs. And one little thing altered their whole life. And now they on Kingston and Allegheny. Homeless. You understand what I'm saying? Old time 2 years ago, he was running a multi-million-dollar company. You feel what I'm saying? But don't you judging him based off of how he smell and what he look like. That's why on my page, you see a little bit of everybody. Because at the end of the day, I see these people. I ain't just, I don't do it just because I got a phone. Like these people that I'm talking to on a regular basis, I see them. And as long as somebody can see them, that at that very moment, that might change their life. The fact that you've seen them, like, all right, you know what, Dan, let me get my ish to go. Yeah, I mean, somebody actually seen me. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's just what it is, man. Try to take people for who they are, not where they from. Because it's bigger than where we from.
And I agree. I totally agree. Now that you mentioned that, and you just said about the CEOs, and you don't know where a person coming from.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears a little bit and just ask, because I like your opinion.
Yeah.
I like your take on things and your view of the world. What Floyd did when he brought that block, I think a whole Manhattan block, for like 400 million. Do you think that's important to our community?
Yeah, I put it up.
I do that, or
I put it up and got so much that people was coming at me about it and about the Trump thing, and I don't see. My whole thing is this: like when I'm putting stuff, everything I do is calculated. It's all calculated. I ain't putting stuff up just to put it up. I don't know nothing about what he got going on with Trump or whatever, but Floyd employs guys from Philadelphia. Shabazz, the OGs from Philadelphia. Money Team Shop. They from Philadelphia. These dudes are millionaires. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? These dudes are millionaires. You understand? So not only that, I'm saying that as a leader, I'm saying that is in a move, the move that your leader making, the people that's under him, if you inspired by what your leader is doing, that's a great leader. I don't care if he making them low income housing. If you my leader and I see that, hold up, you just bought $500 million in real estate. I know what the team is set forever. Because at any given moment, if he want to say, yo, you take a building, he could do that.
He could do that if he wants.
If they had nothing else going on, he could do that. And it shows that other boxers coming up behind Floyd can do the same exact thing. So it just raises the bar as a black person. Not what he doing over here with these white people, or not what he doing. It just raises the bar as a black person because nobody. He got 62 buildings in Manhattan. He don't need a car. He don't need a bike. He could just walk around Manhattan and don't have to have nothing else. 62. If he stopped boxing and stopped everything else, he can just go move into an apartment building and live out the rest of his life.
Yep.
With 62 other buildings. He can just go live out the rest of his life. So that's the importance of it. Like Tyler Perry buying all the land in Atlanta. You understand? He don't got to go to Hollywood no more. He can film everything there where he at. You know, so it's about things like that just raises the bar when it comes to our people that I like to shed the light on. People won't always come after personal character. That comes with it. And I had to learn that. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes nothing away from the history that you're making.
Now, you think people do that because, well, why do you think, in your opinion, why do you think we do that as a culture? We see this black person of prominence and they doing their thing, they moving up. But we find something like, oh, yeah, not mind you, this is a young black man buying a Manhattan city block, but you worrying about his affiliation with Trump. Not to say, because that's his personal view.
Yeah.
And that's his own personal opinion. Yeah. And I dig some of the commentary that people be saying too.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the general purpose of this black man buying, like you said, almost $500 million in real estate.
What's that one?
Why do you think we pick out the things? Because we never had, or
I think
we don't want best for the.
I think a lot of it just got to do with our own personal self, because it's like, I look at it like this: if you don't have a hating bone in your body, you never gonna hate. You never gonna once you learn, and this only had nothing to do with religion or nothing like that. When we was coming up in our area, South Philly, we fought white people in our neighborhood. We didn't even know what we was fighting about. We just fought them because this is what we was told to do. They don't like us. We don't like them. Once we realized that these were our friends and we shook their hands, it was over. The hate went out our blood. They became our homies. What happened 100, 200 years ago, not to say it didn't matter, but our grandparents forgave who they forgave, and we decided to forgive as well. So we didn't carry that. If we'd have carried that same hatred that they had back in the day, we'd be messed up even more than we is already.
Right.
You understand? Because now that we are older and we realize all white people aren't bad, all black people aren't bad. You understand? Once you remove that hatred, when you see something positive, ain't nothing, you ain't gonna want to say nothing negative. If I see that you hit the lottery for 600 million and you was just doing Bars Unlocked, and they say, well, yo, they just bought a studio in New York for 100 million. Right. If you ain't got no hate in your blood, you're gonna be like, bet, that's what I'm talking about. Right. The city rate be crazy, man. And you understand? It's just an automatic thing. But if it's some hate, it's like, he gonna mess that money up like everybody else did. Like them put them basketball players in football. He probably cheated. They gonna figure out any little thing to say, bro, instead of just give it don't cost nothing to be like, damn, that's what's up. You understand what I'm saying? Right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Even if you don't want to say that, that's what's up. That's it. But I think it be people own demons and stuff of what they got inside themselves, whereas though they can't be proud, because it's like, it's with Michael Jordan, and people would say, well, oh, he the best basketball player of all time, but he invests in prisons or whatever the case. But we ain't talking about that. We talking about what he did for the game of basketball for black people. It all came after him. It was nothing before him. Michael Jordan took basketball for our people to a completely different level. It wouldn't be the shoe deals. It wouldn't be the endorsements. It's so many things you can name that the younger generation is getting now because of Michael Jordan. You can't take that y'all don't even know. You can't take those things away from him by saying, oh, he's over here investing in, that's his personal preference of what he want to invest in. But when you talking about what the man accomplished for basketball and us, you can't take that away. That overshadows that. Yeah. That overshadows that. Yeah, you understand? You can't take that away, man. Yeah. You can't take that away. And I learned that. They're gonna always find something, to poke at. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna always find something to poke. It's like kind of like what Meek going through with the reform and being a street. The thing about it is with trying to help people, it always come with a downside. Because when you consider a street rapper, they want you to be for the streets. They think a street rapper is not supposed to help. A street rapper is not. Prime example, look at Lil Durk. When Little Durk started change, when his dad came, because I don't know if people pay attention, but the changing came when his dad came home from jail. Yeah. That's when it changed. His dad started putting him on the path. You see his dad and the other guy who got killed, they hugged each other. They squashed it. A lot of people don't like that. Because they want this to, when we talking about the people in powers to be, they want this to continue. What's going on in Chicago, Philly, other places, a lot of the people that really got pulling the strings, they want this stuff to continue because that's it. And it's the algorithms. It's the algorithm in music. It's the algorithm. It sells papers. It sells TV shows. It sells video. Everything, this violence and stuff like that that's going on, it keeps it today plan. Everything is going according to plan. When you get somebody to break that, it's over. It's over. You feel what I'm saying? It's over. If you get Dirk, Baby, and all them dudes to go conscious, that's it. They will mess the status quo up. You understand what I'm saying? They will. If they start coming together like them dudes in LA and they start seeing them, because that's when they become real threats. You're not no threat when everybody's separate. Yeah. But when we together, it's like, oh, I gotta, this is a Fred Hampton situation. I gotta watch them. They shouldn't be together. They shouldn't be running together. That's what it is. That's why I be so hard on trying to get the young bulls to squash they beefs and stuff, especially behind closed doors, because it's like leaders, it don't make you a sucker to shake your enemy hand. All enemies always respect their enemies. If people know their history, you will see it throughout history, in any history, any ethnic group. It don't make you a sucker to respect your enemy. But when is enough? Why have kids? Because your kids is gonna come up in it. Your mom is subjected to it, your sister, your little cousin, everybody. And most of these kids, they don't have enough money to move everybody out.
They don't.
You can't protect everybody. That's just the reality of it. And what you do going to affect every single person in your family. Your little cousin over there that works at McDonald's, that don't mess with nobody, he's in it. Whether you know it or not, he's in it. Because guess what? You done did a video and he's sitting behind you.
Right.
You understand? And you think ain't nobody catch that. But now when they catch him at the bus stop, oh, that's his cousin right there.
His cousin right there.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. So I just hope, that's why I keep on going. And people be like, oh man, it's falling on deaf ear now. But I ain't giving up. As long as I got a page, I ain't giving up.
Shouldn't, bro.
You feel what I'm saying? I ain't giving up. I'm gonna keep on rumbling.
I think it's gravitating, and I think it's doing what it need to do. And plus, it ain't for y'all.
Exactly.
I want to reach who it need to reach.
That's it. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
It's not for y'all.
Yep.
So we gonna take it back, right? And I like to go in depth and actually want people to know who is Meer, right? And like where you from? How was it growing? So we're gonna start. Where you from first?
South Philly. I was born down 7th Street, and I moved to 31st Street when I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you spent most of your time
in the project.
In the project. Okay,
Yep.
Tasker Project.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how was it growing up?
It was rough, but for us, it was. I mean, it was more fun. I would say more fun than it was rough, because you grew up in the projects. It's fun. You feel what I'm saying? You learn so much, but it's it's fun, man. I mean, it's fun. We learned a lot of life lessons. You understand what I'm saying? We definitely had some decent old heads. My old head Cardi was the one who really showed us how to hustle when it came to candy. We had old head Stan the Candy Man. He was like the godfather of all the candy stuff and stuff like that. And just like every other hood, we had gangsters. We had people that lost their lives at young age. Our first friend that we lost was Kwame. He passed away at an early age, but we wasn't really losing homies as teenagers. We was still living our life as teenagers, going to school, and we weren't really playing with guns and nothing like that. We was fighting from neighborhood to neighborhood, but it didn't really lead into us killing nobody or nobody killing us. Then we ain't have to go through that, our era.
Okay. What school you went to?
I went to Meer, Furnace, and that was it. Every other school was inside them walls.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, you spoke on when you was coming up, we ain't mess with the guns like that. So it's more like we got our reputation off the fighting.
Yeah, because the type of old heads that we had, we wasn't ready. And them old heads back then, they knew that. You know what I mean? They knew it might have been one or two of us who could play with a pistol, but for the most part, ain't nobody play with no guns. One of the ones who had the most heart out of our squad, his name was Skinny Benny. And we went to rob somebody, and we thought he had a gun. He had a brush. Yeah, he had a black brush, and we thought he had a gun. And an Italian boy chased us back into the projects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But we just it was just uncommon. It was really no threat. We had to fight everybody, so it wasn't really no guns. We ain't really need no guns.
Growing up, right? What you still remember, like you know how you growing up and you remember this about your childhood, like the good times, like going to the store, waking up Saturday morning, eating a bowl of cereal, or you playing crate ball with your homies. Like, what's some of the good times growing up?
Our funnest times was like Easter, mainly, because that's when all of South Philly was there. And then like when we formed, our whole projects came together, because our project was geographical at one time. We had like this drive versus that drive. We was like the Dog Pound and Paris Drive. Then in like 95, 96, we came together, and we was called Tasker City G's. Yeah, it was separate. It was 31st Street. It was Paris Drive, Patton Drive, Mountain Drive. Like everybody was separate. Then we all came together in our age bracket, and we became like one in our age group, and we was like Tasker City G's, and that was all of us. You feel what I'm saying? So that was all of us, and you know what I mean?
So before y'all unified,
we fought each other.
Y'all fought each other. Yeah. How long that was going on?
For some years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made y'all?
Because now we had to fight 31st Street. So, 31st Street was already won. So it was like, in order for us to be deeper than them, we had to start coming together. So that's when we start coming together.
So what order did it flow in? Like, what order did y'all come together? Like, was it, because you said 31st Street was already
it was already 31st.
So
yeah.
How many other parts was it? You said Mountain,
Paris, Patton Drive, and like Mifflin Street.
What section you was from?
Paris Drive.
So who led the charge in Unify? Was it Paris Drive or Mountain?
I can't.
Or was it all?
I think it was like all the collective thing, because